Welcome everyone to this monthly Kingdom stream with me, Elisabeth, and Gordon.
Hi.
show yourself from your best side now, Gordon.
Mike. I have to look at you like this. I don't think this is my best side.
I don't know. I think this is my best side. I'll let the chat be the judge.
I don't think I have a good side at all. That's the problem. So
it's when
either way, I'm
you're
losing.
turning around. That's your best side. You see the back of you.
And even that's bad.
So usually you're doing these monthly streams together with Angelica. She's on parental leave right now, so she's going to be back. But for now, you'll have to do with me.
But I think you're an incredible substitute.
Thank you. I'm charmed.
Angelica I adore her to death. She's such an awesome person, and we've known each other for a long time. Well, we didn't know each other, but we both worked kind of at Paradox. Gamersgate and Paradox were part of this. Is it Gamergate or
Gamersgate? Gamergate is something else.
Such a unfortunate naming situation. But this is like 2011. So she was working there, and we were in the same office, but we never really worked together. Mm-hmm. And then she interviewed me, and then I was like, I have a crazy idea. Would you want to work on Kingdom? Because her questions were amazing. So she clearly knew a lot about Kingdom, and that's how that kicked off. Yeah,
she loves the game, and she's a really, really awesome person.
Yes.
But now she has a baby, so she can't be here.
No. And I found... someone gave me some pictures of her when she was young and in London and drinking. But now she's a mom. She doesn't do that. She doesn't go crazy and party anymore.
I love how we talk about someone who's not here.
She can't defend herself.
So, chat, let us know how the sound levels are and if anything's going wrong during the chat. We're streaming on both Twitch and Steam today, hopefully.
Wow.
Because
dual streaming.
Yeah, we are. Sounds great.
Double the bandwidth.
Thank you, Joe and Raw Fury Games. Is it Zeke behind that tag? Is it you, Zeke? Anyway, so you and Angelica, you usually play a campaign together. And we're not resuming that campaign.
No.
We have some, we have some more in-depth conversation to offer you today.
Yeah. Today is going to be more heavily development focused to give everyone kind of a sneak peek or a look behind the curtain, as they say, to see how things work, so how everything is, but and just give people, like, this is what the game looks like when we're working on it, so people have a more interesting point of view. Hey, Jack. Jack is I have a man crush on Jack.
Who's Jack?
Jack,
don't dox him.
He's what? No, but I know he lives in Texas. I think.
No,
sure.
Stop.
But he was him and his wife were streaming, and they played a key role in inspiring Kingdom 2 Crowns.
Wow.
Like, we had this concept about doing co-op, but like there's a couple of things that happened, and the stream that I just happened to watch what they were playing. And they were like, I wish we could play together. And I was like, we have to make this happen.
Aww.
And so that played a super key role in pushing to make Kingdom. So Jack, he's an awesome person. And, sadly, we haven't got to see each other because of the pandemic and stuff like that. But every time I get to see him at an event, he's just a wonderful person. And I really like him. And he came to Raw Fury once when we were still small and we were in the little tiny building and streamed with me. It's
So we have Jack to thank for a lot.
Yeah, Jack.
Today.
We have Jack, and there's a skin that we have to get in, and things have been slow. It's a small team, and we've been trying to figure out technically how to do it right. But we have a Jack Patello-inspired king.
Ah, awesome.
So I want to get that in, but sorry, Jack. I know it's been years, and you're probably mad.
Big honor.
Please, Jack, please forgive me.
Jack sends you love back and would love to come visit again. So, this stream could just be us shouting out people instrumental to Kingdom 2 Crowns and saying, "You're awesome, everyone." Great.
Well, there's so many awesome people. Honestly, it's like, games, so many people play a role in inspiring, people. I just happened to play the role of, organizing this and doing, the design or leading the design. But there's a lot of people that contribute just because I led that. I was getting tons of feedback and lots of inspiration from all around me. So everybody plays a key role. It doesn't matter just because one person is in charge of finding those ideas, it's not me that made the game by myself. It's like it takes everybody, and even if you're playing an indirect role and you're not the developer, there's something that could be said. There's a moment in conversation that's always inspiring people. And so it's like, whether it's directly or indirectly, so many people have influenced and touched this game. It's super
it's
special
incredible. Yeah. Donato says that we're peaking a little bit, so I turned down the volume a little bit.
Okay.
Let me know if it gets
That's
better.
probably me.
Nah, it's me too. I'm very uneven when I'm speaking. I can go from super quiet to super loud, like in a
I'm
blink
not
of an
used
eye.
to this fanciness.
Yeah, there's a new studio. It's the first time for me streaming here as well. It's a really nice setup. So we've been talking a lot.
Wait. Thanks for the shout out with the t-shirts. These are special
t-shirts. Beautiful.
Jack has one. These were by Fangamer. So they actually have their own in-house artists that made these and did an incredible job. So I have the Queen, rocking the Queen, and by the Sakura tree with the.
They're doing a lot of custom designs.
Yeah, they're incredible. Yeah. I usually at events, I've saved some money by not going to events because I would go to the Fangamer booth.
I was at PAX East a couple of years ago, and the only break I got because I was working in the booth, we had like 0 breaks, but the one break I got, I just ran to the Fangamer booth and just made myself pour. Yeah. It was awesome.
One of my favorite events, and we will get to this. Sorry, everyone.
It's fine.
But yeah, one of my favorite events is that we got to do before. I think it's all digital now, but Minecon. So we got to show Kingdom at Minecon.
Is that the Minecraft con?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was near Disneyland, which we never went to Disneyland, which is kind of strange to have gone all the way.
Missed opportunity.
But it was really close to it, the Anaheim Convention Center. So, but when we were there, it's like they had these exclusive plushies. So I got one and I gave it to my kids when they got a little bit older so that they can understand it. And they play a lot of Minecraft now.
Nice.
So it's a purple sheep.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it. So we have a lot of exciting things in store for you today. Some development talk, some surprises coming later on in the stream. So, stick around and see what we have in store for you. Big reveals coming.
Big reveal.
But for now, maybe we should just get into the game. Like so.
Hey, Firecam. I love this setup. Now I can see the chat. I have my glasses on so I can read.
Yeah.
Because I'm old. Can I play with this keyboard?
Yeah, you can. If you use the player 2 setup, that should be fine.
It's like a... What? And now you have 2 cameras and we're split?
Yeah, I split the camera in 2.
That is...
Am I not clever? I'm a little bit clever.
You are incredibly savvy. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed.
But I've also been working with this setup for 2 or 3 hours today.
You know what? Accomplishing this 2 or 3 hours, still super, super impressed. I would have been backwards with this. I don't know... I use OBS for capturing footage when I help the media team at Raw Fury get footage for the game, because I can capture certain things in the engine, so it's that aren't possible, and restage things and kind of set it up to try and capture those moments. So, I didn't know we could use 2 keyboards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully mine doesn't run out of battery.
Okay, let's do another shout out to Liam, who helped me. He gave me a guided tour of this whole setup. I think he's mostly responsible for it.
Yes.
So it's an awesome setup in here.
Okay. Well, one of the things, maybe what we could do is we can go back into single player.
Sure.
Just so I want to show people. So we're going to go into the talking on a more technical level, not playing.
You can control by using the WSC if you want to.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Is this a development build? No, this is retail. Woo!
Yeah,
We're playing a retail build?
Yeah,
does this mean something's happening?
This means something's happening.
Okay.
I mean, you've been teasing it quite a lot on social media. Something's coming.
What? No. I'm so innocent and such a good
boy.
Developer who follows all the rules. So I don't know. It's really hard to see it, but one of the key things I want to start off talking about that we've done that's going to be in this update is I really wanted to work on the visuals again, do another pass on it. We hadn't really been able to focus on that since the original. So Thomas had set us up with an incredible foundation to build on. So I wanted to step in and kind of start working on that.
So for someone who doesn't know the history of Kingdom, who's Thomas?
Thomas Vandenberg is the creator of Kingdom.
Yeah.
He came up with the original concept. He had set up and created a Flash kind of game, but it wasn't ever meant really to be a game. It just happened to come out of that. And so he made a game out of that, and then people started and put it up for free on Flash. It got some notoriety. Some big at the time big news sites started talking about it, Kotaku being one of them. So a friend of his, someone reached out to him that the founder of Raw Fury, Jonas, knew, and was like, hey, let's make this into a mobile game. And then Jonas was like, hey, I'm doing this Raw Fury thing. And they're like, hey, maybe we'll sign with you. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, I'm skipping through a lot of details.
This is the short version here.
Yeah, but it's like, and Jonas is like, yo, needs to be a PC game. So then it was a PC game. And then we eventually made a mobile version, but that was really hard. It's surprisingly much easier to have a simple input on a computer versus a simple input, because touch takes it to another level. There's a lot more things you have to think about: finger placement, what things are going on, how to do UI. It was really complicated. I know it sounds cheesy, but it really was.
So circle back to Thomas and the foundation.
So he set up a foundation. So how the weather is controlled, how the moon is, the colors of the moon, the sun, the clouds, and the rain. I really did not have a good initial setup, did I? So it's like, so he had set all these things up, and now we're building on it. And now I have had help. There's an amazing team at Fury Studios. They've been doing such an incredible job. And at first we had to find and fix a lot of stuff and refactor a lot of the code. Now that we've gotten to that part, we can start working on, maybe it's called kind of the more fun stuff. It's the more things that are more visual, that that are the players are going to notice and probably have an immersive impact and an impact on the immersion that they're feeling and experiencing. So one of the things you can see here is I did a big pass on all the blender states. So the blender states are how you control the sunlight, the color of the sky, the weather, the fog in the background. So now it's going to a foggy day. So it's going to get really, really foggy. So I really wanted to take it to 11.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like you can barely see the back layers.
Yeah. And really actually this is dusty. This looks like a dusty spring morning. So it's like, because then it's only the bottom layer. So I've done a lot of things. So what we can do is I would like to show them one of the videos. Yeah. Can we do the Parallax video? So I recorded some footage in the editor, because then it's really, really difficult to get it all set up on the streaming computer as well. So in here, what I have is just set up a basic scene so you guys could see. Now, if you look, you can see the different layers are moving at different speeds. Now, as I come into the forest, what you're going to see here is we've separated some of those trees. So those background trees were actually on the same parallax layer as the foreground trees, or the trees that are on the same layer as the player. And so that created a lack of depth. So I wanted the forest to feel more deep. Now, this is what it looks like in the scene. So this is how you build the environment in Kingdom.
Right, you can see every layer here.
So now I'm kind of zooming around because I'm trying to find my camera, because I forgot to place it ahead of time. But it's good because it gives me filler. So what I wanted to do is show everybody, like, this is how these layers are working. So all of these things are set up. So some of them are on the same parallax layer, but a sprite is in front or behind this layer, right? So the reason for that is that's telling Unity which sprite is dominant, which sprite should be in front and which sprite should be behind.
Right.
So on the same layer, we have to, when we're setting up these prefabs, as we call them, when we're setting these up, we have to set these things up and keep every single sprite that's in that same parallax layer. We have to make sure that those are on separate coordinates so that they overlap correctly.
Right.
It can feel very, very daunting sometimes. So here I am running. So I just wanted to kind of show people more how the depth of the forest works. So this video kind of loops.
Yeah.
But if you look in the background, you can see like the curtain trees. Those are moving, seem to be moving fast because they're following the camera. So they have a faster move speed. But the crazy thing is when you play it in the game, or maybe it's not crazy, but I find it really interesting. When you look at the game, it looks like they're barely moving.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're setting these up, you're actually setting up the speed to be faster so that it moves with the camera. But it's actually, in the game, it looks like it's moving slower. So you have to constantly think backwards, in a sense.
That's some really backwards thinking. It's blowing my mind
right now. The faster it moves, the slower it looks like it's moving.
Yeah, exactly. So Aim for the Head mentioned, like he asked, what engine is this? You mentioned it. Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to go back? Or do you want to look at the layers some more?
The what?
Do you want to go back to the game, or do you want to look some more at the layers?
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions about the
like this
Parallax
is your chance.
layers?
Yeah, this is your chance to ask Gordon anything you want to know about these features. It's a good opportunity. I mean, they can probably hit you up on Twitter or something like that too.
Yeah.
RTX when? Frisky Donuts is asking.
What's RTX? Is that the
ray tracing?
GeForce?
Yeah.
Ray tracing. Oh my God. Frisky Donuts. Oh, you're lucky I love you.
Otherwise, we will ban you. Gonna kick you out of the chat.
Real-time ray tracing is coming.
Don't make any promises.
Yeah, February 30th.
Oh yeah, that doesn't exist. Yeah. Like in Sweden we have something called like red days. That's the bank holidays in Sweden. And so when I would make a promise that wouldn't happen, I would say on the next not red Sunday, because all Sundays are red days in Sweden. So that's the same thing as February 30th.
That sounds really dark.
Yeah,
on the next not red Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm getting Game of Thrones and the Red Wedding.
Yeah, or is it like a blood moon? Is that a red Sunday too, maybe?
It's called Red Moon in the game, in the code.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Blood Moon was something that the community kind of came up with. It was, so.
We have a question in the Steam chat. How many layers does Kingdom use?
Oof.
Can you count them? We have them right here.
Let me think, because I was messing around with this, but there's some that we don't use and there's some that we use. So I'll kind of give explanation. So the main layer that is moving at the same speed as the camera and is the same speed as the ruler, that is called the game layer. And that's the primary layer. So anything that's interactable, we're trying to have all those things on the game layer. Anything that's not interactable, we try to put and some of the back layers. So there's the game layer, and there's also foreground layers.
Yeah.
So there's also some, but we don't use them all. So I think there's three foreground layers. There's the game layer. Then there's 3 background layers, which are the ones that are the closest to you. And then there are 3 curtain layers for when you're in the forest. And then there are 3 backdrop layers, which are the really far objects.
And
then there's 3 monument layers, but we've never used that. But my dream is like, if we do, or I'm not on camera so you can't see me doing my air finger quotes. Right. If we do a new setting, I would like to try and have a monument that uses 3 parallax layers. It's very subtle, so it's more like me being, a creative kind of, going a little overboard on the creative side. But I think it's not something that you should notice. It's something that should just draw you a little bit deeper into that experience.
Yeah.
So how many was that? 9, 12?
Something like that.
There was about close to 20.
Yeah, because you have the fogs in the fronts and everything that you can see here.
But the fog is on a foreground layer.
Right. Traders, we don't have any announcements about a new game since Kingdom 2 Crowns is still going very strong. We have new content coming to the game.
Yeah, we're still working actively on Kingdom 2 Crowns. That's the best way. There's tons of ideas, of course, right? I would love to make another Kingdom game, but there's so many factors that go into place. If I did something, it would be I think it would be closer to a reimagining. I feel like this kind of experience has run its course. I would never go 3D though. Just so people know, I would never leave pixel art. I'm a fan of pixel art. I think if pixel art is done in the right way, it basically it dissolves. And I think Kingdom did this, but you have newer pixel art games that dissolve that concept of pixel art, right? They're doing tons of modern things. Maybe we have RTX in there. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Not yet, at least.
Frisky
We have
knows.
we have lots of more questions there. Will the multiplayer challenge drop with the new content or sooner? It's coming with the next update.
What?
We talked about this in the other stream. It's been
What?
We've talked about
We talked about co-op.
Yeah, isn't that the multiplayer challenge?
Oh yeah.
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 Soon. I didn't invent something new that we haven't planned for.
I was like, well, are you adding something to the game?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to delay this update even more?
No, that's not happening.
Okay.
So what we revealed on a stream a couple of weeks ago is that we are dropping a new update that will add co-op to Challenge Islands. That's what's coming.
But it hopefully soon.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I can say is that we're in certification. So I mean that takes its time. We have no control over that, but hopefully soon.
Developer Tom has a dev focus question. Are you using an orthographic camera, or do you use a perspective camera to help with the parallax effect?
I didn't actually set the camera, but it's perspective. I'm pretty positive because it's Unity uses the 2D camera system, but I didn't set that up, so I can't answer that 100%. But I will.
You can look it up.
If you
maybe
tweet me on Twitter. Is that how you say it? Tweet me on Twitter.
Tweet me a tweet.
Tweet me on Twitter and ask me and remind me, and I will go into the camera. I have not touched that camera in so freaking long.
Don't break what's not broken. Yeah.
Thomas set that up, and I have not touched it, which is probably a good thing. I'm more a visual person and doing the design and stuff, and there's much more talented people on the team, much smarter than me, that are putting together and making these things happen, and writing the code, which is those are the heroes. I just get to ride on their shoulders sometimes. No.
Oh my God, we have a lot of questions coming in.
Wow.
I'm so happy to see that there's a lot of engagement going on, and also some stories about people who are just telling us that they like the game. So that's really great.
I would much rather you guys. Did we already?
No, we didn't read that one.
Making new content for 2 crowns.
Than having to buy a new game for new content because I love this game's premise. Yeah. So.
Well, we aim to please. No, but it goes back to Raw Fury and their core values, and the principle is like update the game until you really can't. I was sad to say we are getting to a point where we will exceed minimum requirements. The texture maps and the memory that this uses, how much RAM it's going to use, and things like that. We do hit those, and then we do hit limitations with how the game was structured. If we made a new game, we would have to literally build Kingdom from scratch, from the ground up.
Yeah, and that would require a lot of work and time.
Yes.
So lots of questions coming in. I think we kind of have to address these ones. The update teased on the 1st of April. Is it not coming with the co-op challenge one? Is it a new challenge? Is it a new biome? What have you dropped?
What?
You've dropped some teaser, Gordon. You can't say what every time I ask you.
What teaser?
It's on your Twitter. You posted it.
But
you
that was
play
from the
stupid.
stream. We teased it in the stream.
No, because you showed 2 sister islands.
Oh, I forgot about that. Memory lapse.
You showed a beautiful
and I'm not
picture,
even joking.
A beautiful picture of 2 sister islands.
Yeah.
And there was a bridge, but it was broken between them. So what is that
those
about?
Those are monuments. That's not an actual land. So I want to clarify because I saw a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are monuments. And I just took the camera and moved it off into the ocean where there was nothing. So those are, I'll just say those are monuments.
Those are monuments. So it's something coming. It's not an April Fool's joke. You're looking scared.
What time is it?
It's
Oh,
time.
yeah.
It is time.
Is
So
that-
now you can look excited about this. I'm just trying to lead you into this without having to look at
Which
the
camera is mine?
It's that one.
Oh my gosh!
It's time. Do you wanna tell something? Do you have something to say?
I'm nervous now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've built it up maybe a bit more than...
No, but it's something,
Okay,
it's
pretty
something
awesome.
fun. It's something fun.
We have a custom t-shirt that will only be available for 24 hours.
And it's related to the thing.
Or actually 23 and a half hours because it went live 30 minutes ago.
Sure. I mean, details.
You know I'm detail oriented. I get people really frustrated with me because I'm like, but this one pixel. Gordon, let it go. But I can't.
So this t-shirt has something to do with the teaser you posted on Twitter the other day. Should we say anything more than that?
No.
No.
But it's also,
it.
I posted a GIF 3 weeks ago.
A GIF.
No, a GIF.
A GIF. Sorry. That was a great...
Should I give you your gift or should I hold it because there's no such thing as a GIF?
It was a great April Fool's joke because we're speaking about Twitter a lot, but TweetDeck had changed their button for GIFs. So it said GIF with a J for all of April 1st. I thought it was really funny.
That is pretty brilliant. I kind of like that. That's pretty awesome.
It was funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so the link is dropped in the chat. You can find it now.
Yes. So I put together this t-shirt. This is art by Frantic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an incredible pixel artist. And it's showing off it's new content for the game.
Yeah.
So we won't say anything more than that. I mean, I think veteran players are going to, put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5, but it'll be fine.
Why would they come up with 5? So strange. So strange, Gordon.
That's me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but it's a super cool t-shirt. This is something that we're trying out. So the plan is to try and have unique t-shirts every time we do a stream, and those are the only times you can get it. So these are special and exclusive. We're not able... Jack ordered a t-shirt. Woot!
Jack, you deserve all the shout-outs we gave you at the start of the stream.
I told you. He's amazing.
Amazing.
A man crush.
Tomas,
through and through.
Tomas, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see what you're writing. Can't see it. So we're gonna be dropping that link a couple of more times in the chat in case you missed it for the rest of the stream. And yeah.
Frisky Donuts. I've tried for stuff like that. If you find a printer who can pull that off, I will totally make you one of those scenes. It's actually really hard. So I don't know if you have Instagram, everyone. If you have Instagram, let me tell you, you can, for Instagram, you can go to the Raw Fury website or Raw Fury account, and you can swipe across, and it actually... I had to take several images, and I had to merge them together to make this one long. It's really hard.
It's seamless to
because
just
the parallax layers, when you move the camera, the parallax layers move. So a tree that was in one place is now in a different place as you move. So it starts to cover something that's behind it before, and so making one seamless long image is really, really difficult.
Yeah. How many hours did it take?
I think 2 or 3.
Oh my god. Wow.
And that one had no scenery in the background. And that was the easy version.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I had to make one for Apple for the iOS release because they have a really wide, big image that they only use the middle. But I can't. It's like I know this, but I go all in, and I'm like, cutting out different objects and trying to place them on it and doing it in photos. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it to me. So.
Yeah. So we have more stuff to show today.
I agree. What is it called? Okay, somebody must know the answer to what are those 3D looking things that when you it has a special name and somebody just told it to me.
Yeah, I was in that meeting and I forget what it was called as well.
It's so hard. But I would love to have one of those kind of t-shirts. I don't know. I'm waiting for like proper like was it OLED? Like it should be able to be shirts.
Oh yeah.
I want to have video, like literal video on my shirt.
I mean, that's been happening at fashion shows. I think there's been like
but it's like it looks.
It's clunky.
Yeah.
Right now.
So yeah, well, now we're future speculating on fashion.
Fashion, yeah, we want LED.
Should we
clothes.
go back to the game?
We're back in. Okay.
All right.
Gordon wants to be a Teletubby.
A Teletubby.
You get the screen in your belly.
I want to be a Teletubby. That is spot
Lenticular.
Lenticular.
Mr. Park is here.
Yes.
He was the one who answered it last time as well.
Yeah. I'm going to ask him that for the rest of our lives. We're good friends, so I can harass him for the rest of our lives and be like, what's the kind of shirt? You know, what's that thing when it's 3D?
And he's like, oh my God, it's lenticular again.
Lenticular. Gordon.
Please. We made so much progress in this game. It's been like 40 minutes.
By the way, how many of you know that you can edit your
flag
banner?
Banner.
Or
wow, using fancy words here.
We have lots of things. I had to look these up. I don't know if these are even legitimate, but I looked up like what were the like patterns and designs used in banners in feudal Japan. So me and Martin, we went through and made a bunch of these.
I mean,
I actually made some of these.
The pattern is not the problem here. You need to change the colors.
Yeah, I did this one, I think, because it's really easy.
Wow, great work of art, Gordon.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, look, it's all green.
Oh my God. Did you keep this in mind? That you can make an unicolored flag?
Yeah, but that was actually the goal. Like Thomas had that in mind from the beginning. So we just adopted the same color pattern. That looks really bad, but I'm going to do it
It's your
anyways.
flag now. Kotaleda asks, Gordon, is the gem banker agreed?
Is there no... The gem banker, but you can get your coin back.
The gem keeper.
The gem keeper. You can get your money back. Money
but
back.
What is he?
Money back gem guarantee.
What are they?
What are they?
Yeah, but are they human? They just show up?
We don't define anything. It's just like what looks the coolest.
Okay. You can make up your own lore here.
Exactly.
He looks greedy though.
He is kind of like
yeah, I mean, because you have to pay to get your gem back.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty greedy.
But necessary.
Someone on Discord was asking about where to post lore ideas. I mean, we have a suggestion forum in our support portal at rawfury.com.
I think that's hard to... you know what? I browse Reddit a lot and the Steam forums.
Yeah, post your ideas on the Reddit.
I think there's a lot of cool ideas. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. And it's like... we started a lore Bible, but it's like more just for design to keep things cohesive. Like, you know, all people in the world are smaller than the rulers. Simple stuff like that. So that, you know, that...
So they're just like exploiting little people. That's what's happening.
And then we make it up as we go along.
Right.
To be honest.
Sure.
I mean, that's how it started off, right?
Yeah.
That's how Kingdom started. It was Thomas just kind of coming up with things as he went along, and we kind of keep with that concept. Here's something new that we also added was the moon. We added moon phases to help players kind of gauge the seasons as it's going by, so that you know, a lot of things we don't want to have UI. We don't want to have things that are like blatant information.
You don't want a clock on there.
No. We want players to use the environment and try and source things from that. But that puts a lot of pressure on us because we have to do a really good job of giving information to the players then in that format, right? And I think that that's something that we're constantly trying to get better at. And I think if we make more nuanced fixes to Kingdom, to Grounds, then that's one of the things I would like to make part of that, is to improve the feedback within the world to explain things as much as possible. You know, the ghost is also kind of a handicap to help us explain things that maybe it was really difficult
Right.
to explain with just in-game.
But so what we just saw was a new moon, so that means we're in the beginning of the season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we have this beautiful morning that has now we have some rain going on, with some clouds in the background.
I can feel like there's a dewy quality to the air almost.
Yeah. We got something. This is probably fresh morning.
Yeah.
Spring dawn. So if we pause this, we can go into the Blender settings. So what I want to show you guys now is more behind the scenes. So this is the Blender state. So when we're in the game, we have a dev menu, and we can go through and we can change the Blender states to see kind of like what are the different settings looking like, and toggle between them to set things up. So this is clear spring dawn, I believe, and then we can go. Then I'm going to show you like here's foggy. So we could see the foggy one. So it's
that's different from the one we saw before, which was dusty, right?
Which was dusty. Yeah, exactly. So I have to hand edit all of these. So,
how many are there?
I think there's around 250 or 150.
Oh my god.
So I actually, for this update that's coming up, I went through. I leaned heavily on the original ones from the medieval setting, from Thomas's original ones, but we did some stuff where we added new layers, new haze layer, which is kind of in the middle section to kind of help separate objects that are supposed to be further away. And then the fill layer, which is giving the fog or giving the kind of haziness in the background of the monument, and also the objects that are more into the distance. So in the video, I got to see where is it going. What? So yeah.
Fresh summer evening? No. Changing your mind? Overcast autumn day? No. It was something heavy. What was that? Heavy?
This is heavy precipitation. So
what
this
is that
winter.
word?
Precipitation.
Yeah,
it's just when it's raining.
Oh, I've never heard it before. I'm not native speaker, so.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like in the scene. So if you can see that there's those two layers in the background that are kind of a white color, that's what's making it hard and more closer to opaque. So I can make it solid to where you couldn't see the monument. So any objects behind those come off with a different, there's a different transparency. And a lot of settings, that's off. It's only for the ones where you want to create a really thick, cloudy, very, very low visibility scene and environment. And here we are going through some of the clear day ones. And as you can see, when it snows, it happens to snow. So now what I've done is I moved it over the camera. I'm just giving. Okay, this is the Blender state. So this is what I'm seeing. And when I'm playing with it in game. So this is which layer was that?
I don't know.
Yeah, the ambient. So that controls the overall color hue that all objects are getting hit by. So now this is the haze layer. So that's that layer. It's kind of in the middle to kind of create separation between them. But I turn it down low for certain ones and up high. And now you can see we added a third one. So there used to only be two.
So
now
that's the one
three.
sliding up.
Exactly. So now I'm sliding up the alpha channel. So the alpha controls transparency.
Right.
So then next I should be going over to showing. Yeah. So that's the fill layer. So that was the one I showed that there's two towards the back and it covers the monument and those. So you can control it from top and bottom, and it also blends together. So you can use that to have multiple colors and kind of create a gradient setting. And then the same with the sky. So if I want the lower color to be a certain amount, then I use one color and then I switch to another color to create that sunsets. So the sunsets are the perfect setting to really highlight when you're using the gradients to kind of create that. Now the water, if I wanted to be super reflective and look like that old JavaScript, then you can you turn down the alpha. But then I take color typically from the sky or from around the sun to create the reflection on the water. So then I adjust that and I tweak it and try and bring it. Sometimes I have to make it a little darker, sometimes a little lighter to make it really pop. It's just objective. So now I'm messing around with the sun and the color in the sun and the brightness of the glow and how that works. So I'm going through and manually for every setting, for every Blender state, all 150 of them. I'm going through and I'm tweaking those.
So you've hand tweaked every Blender state for all of the campaigns as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Deadlands, and I did small updates, but I wanted to keep it to the original, so I wanted to homage to the original, but I had to fix some things. When we added additional haze layers, it affected how the original vision, so I tried to get it back to
Oh my god, those clouds.
So yeah, so you can adjust the cloud density, the cloud colors, a lot of those things.
There's a lot of questions coming in, but I wanted to ask the one from Matralus. Will we have access to the Blender in the next update? No. You're just going to see the result of all this while playing the game.
Yeah, this is in the engine, so you will not have access to this, unfortunately. My dream thing is that we make the dev menu available at a certain point.
Oh, wow.
Because, we'd have to remove ability
achievements,
for people,
yeah.
But what I want to do is let people make videos. I think you can do a lot of cool stuff and maybe even make some digital art with it. So now I'm adjusting different things like the haze layers, and I missed the part with the stratus clouds, and the cumulus clouds are the main ones, and then the stratus clouds are the background ones that are like distance clouds. So I was tweaking those, and now I was tweaking the fog and showing that I can adjust the fog and the density, and that's the mist. So I'm adjusting all of these things in every layer and how much there is, if there is any. Clear day, I've stripped everything, so I try to make it very like crisp and pristine on the clear day. And then, just playing around with these and trying to see what feels good. It's very, very subjective though. So it's like, it's based a lot on what I thought looked nice, but hopefully others also like it as well. But I'm really proud of the changes that we made to the bamboo, because I did a whole brand new pass on it.
To Shogun.
To Shogun, sorry. Bamboo is the original
the dev talk for
the code.
When we say bamboo,
in
we
code.
need
in code it's called bamboo. Sorry.
But it's really interesting to see when you highlight each and every one of these, like haze and clouds, etc. Because
now it's rain.
Yeah.
So with rain, one of the key things, I turned on the stars so you can see that we can adjust how much stars are in there. And the rain, and the funny thing is you have to go over And
now it's less rainy.
0.01, I think it is. Yeah, 0.1 to get 0.101 to get rain. And then this is snow. So the more you adjust it, it also adds a haziness to the water to try and kind of capture that feeling. It's like when it's snowing or raining, it's like water usually gets a kind of funny hue to it and tint, kind of like a loss of color. So that's why it does that. So those are the things that I'm playing around with. And, every season, and there's 8, 9 different kind of states. There's clear day, cloudy day. Let's see if I can do this off the top of my head.
Oh my God. That's
dusty. Fresh.
You have them there. No, they're gone.
Fresh, foggy, first day. Then there's
heavy precipitation.
Then there's
overcast.
Oh, I forgot cloudy day, overcast, and then precipitation.
Yeah. That's a lot of them. No, what I wanted to say was, because when you highlighted each and every one of these layers, it kind of throws us back to the thing you showed with the parallax layers, because now when you highlighted them, you could see them in action as well.
Yeah.
So you can see what each layer was, basically. And that was really cool to see. Aim for the Head asks, how do you handle the the water animations between seasons and weather?
How do you handle
transitioning the water animations between seasons and weather?
The rain effect?
Maybe. I don't know. Or is it like the water at the bottom of the screen?
Question, where are you seeing this?
Yeah, the one above here.
Okay.
Maybe you can specify a little bit.
But I mean, so what's happening is the blenders are kind of transitioning between each other. So there's like a crossover state where they're slowly blending. So that's something also you have to keep in mind. You can't, if something is too drastically different than the previous one, it could look funny, but the way it's basically, there is a slow transition where it moves over from one blender state to the other.
Yeah, so I mean the water at the bottom of the screen, how it changes from gray, murky to clear blue, etc.
But that's just that's more just shader effects, and then just putting so what happens is that the engine is told, and then in a script and code, it's like apply this effect to the water when the snow equals like this value or higher if blah blah blah. I'm not a coder, so I'm kind of like fumbling my way through it, but it's that's what's happening. So it's all happening in the engine, the game and the scripts, and it's telling the camera and the rendering what to do based on the value that you've put the rain or snow at. So if the rain or snow is over a certain value, then it puts it at X amount of what are called diffusing of the water.
Right.
For lack of better terms. But yeah. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, they say very cool. Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. Question. Do you recolor all the sprites, for example, different colors you can choose for the monarchs? No. So Unity actually helps us with that. So we have a material or a shader that's called recolor, and we apply that to the sprite, and then Unity does that. So the blazon, so everything that you're seeing in the blazon is it's using the recolor material.
Very handy.
And so then we tell it what hue ranges that it can use. So we have that for skin pigmentation color. So there's randomization between fair skin and dark skin. Then there's also but it's really expensive, which is weird. So we had to like limit how many we could have. So it also on the rulers on their outfits. So different aspects of their garment are being affected by that same thing.
And the Squire archers will also change colors, right?
Exactly. So and also the knights.
Right.
So they're all using that same thing. One thing that people might not notice is that some like the deer also can have a small. Maybe we don't use that. I feel like we applied that to the medieval setting, but I know it's on the bamboo and I know it's in Deadlands.
It's possible to do it.
Yeah, we also do that with the pup and the dog. So the dog is actually getting different hue colors.
The dog.
What is something else that we do that for? We use it sometimes for the steeds because it's easier.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually some things it doesn't ever change, but we use the engine to give it the color, because then we can try more options. So like the different steed colors between player 1 and player 2, it's the same steed, same stats and everything. But I sat and played around with different colors. I actually put several different options on Twitter and asked people to vote for the colors they like. So
very nice.
The one that got first place, there was 2 that tied the ones that are on there. So I was like, we can put it as player 1 and then player 2.
That's really good.
So that's how we got those colors.
Cool. You also showed that a little bit when we were playing the Challenge Islands in co-op, because that Griffin, for example, has a different color setting than
that
the campaign
one I
one.
hand did.
Yeah. Oh, so that's not the recolor setting.
No. So I took Martin Boat. He's an incredible animator, pixel animator that's been helping and working on Kingdom since Newlands. So next to me, he's the longest running person still working on Kingdom. And I just took his sprite, so all the credit goes to him. But I went through and I recolored it because he was super busy. So I was like, I wanted all the Challenge Island steeds if we reused an existing steed, but they look different. So if someone took a screenshot, we know where it's from. You're on this Challenge Island. Same thing with the monuments. The monuments are unique as well for that reason.
So before we move on from the blenders, I want to ask you, where you tweaked all of these blender states. How did you get the reference for them? Did you go just outside and look, or did you look at photos, or is it just all in your head?
A combination of all 3.
Okay.
So I'm fortunate to live in a perfect location to see sunrises and sunsets.
Right.
So I have an incredible amount of photos on my phone where I'm looking at those things. There's so many things I wish I could do, but it would be so much work to tweak them all. I think in the New Kingdom game, I want to take the Blender state, if we made one, of course, right? I always think
in your dreams.
In my dream.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I'm always thinking that way. I'm always trying to think a few steps ahead.
Yeah.
Just because if it happens, then we're ready to go, right? That we have a plan, or at least something's been thought about. But if I had to do this over again, here's a better way to say it. If I had to do this over again, I would want to make a system that is a bit more, does more predicting. So you get also more variety. So you can have, so what we can do is like say, like this should only be between these color ranges and this color hue range.
Mm-hmm.
But then the engine is saying, and it's taking those things and putting it together and messing with it. Yeah, a photo mode.
Yeah,
like
that would be cool.
But that would be super awesome. Actually,
yeah,
a photo mode would be so
but
freaking cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
It would be beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, if I had to do it over again, photo mode is something I think I would totally want to add. I've been playing. Sorry if I butcher the name, but Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima. Yeah.
And they have an incredible photo mode. I think it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I played Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, and those ones have a really cool photo mode as well. So something like what you see a lot of these AAA games, but those maybe it takes a lot of work. But we're kind of deviating a lot. But this was about development, so this is development.
Yeah, these
ideas,
are the
wishes,
thoughts that
dreams.
are going into all of your thoughts is sooner or later resulting in what you see in Kingdom. Potentially, sure.
And, and everybody else.
Yeah.
Sometimes, to me, the best designer, and I say this often, but the best designer is not someone who you don't come up with all the ideas. You recognize the right ideas that are going to go into the game. Ideas are easy, right? Ideas come in droves, and it's like, and that's awesome. And because we work in creative environments, and people are motivated, they're inspired, they're passionate, and so you get these ideas, and sometimes maybe we're a bit spoiled in that sense, but the designer's real job is to recognize that an idea can come from anyone and anywhere when people understand the game and are passionate, and sometimes even outside of that. But it's when you have a team, like there's so many ideas that are coming from everyone, and it's like I feel like we have an incredible team, both on the publishing side and the development side, because when cool ideas come from either one, the team is jumping behind it and trying to make it happen. So there's just like, I'm trying to, like, my brain is going a million miles an hour, so I'm trying to like grab a perfect example. But the boar was a good example. We were trying to figure out something we could do for winter. How can we improve it? And someone else suggested a boar.
Right.
Plague Island, that was a person on the dev team. Their idea was like, what if we could make it an infected?
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, that would be incredible. So then my job was to take that idea and break it down into like, how does this work? How does it work with all the other things? What are these edge cases in the center? That, to me, that's what a designer's role is. A designer's role isn't to be like, this is what we're going to make and we have to make it and it's only going to be my idea. Then you're a bad designer.
Yeah. So Sir Yum Yums in the Steam chat is asking, who are these people? Do they have names/handles? We do have in our in-game overlay. I'm Elisabeth. I work as a quality producer on Kingdom. You're Gordon.
Yes, I'm Gordon.
You're Gordon. Just Gordon. No, you're the designer. The designer of Kingdom 2 Crowns.
Designer Kingdom 2 Crowns. Design director. We all have tons of hats. Yeah. Everybody's chipping.
Titles are fluid here.
I'm also chief champion cheerleader.
Sure.
I want to cheer. I try to cheer people on. I think it's a lot of work.
I like to call myself a meme queen as well. So you have one more thing to show us because we're nearing time.
Oh.
So do we want to do that before we have to
shut
shut down for today?
All right. I was supposed to go into this things from a friend of mine who joined the team that we worked together at DICE. His name's Alan Kurtz, incredible designer. He has gone through and fixed a lot of feedback from the community.
Yeah.
So a lot of
like he scouts Reddit and Discord and
he's looking into Steam. These are all the things that we had wanted to fix, but we didn't have the bandwidth. And now we have the bandwidth, and we fixed a lot of core bugs. There's still stuff to fix always, but I'd say some of the really big ones that were really frustrating us have been addressed. If they come back, please let us know. But it's like, so he went through and did it. And one of the main things he fixed, which, it never was to the original vision, and he fixed it to that, was the ninja. So I made a little video to show how the ninja
What was the problem with the ninja? A little backstory.
The ninja was like, it just wasn't effective. He was jumping out in the middle of a greed wave, getting knocked, losing his status, and just not being causing enough damage to the greed to make it worth the purchase.
They were very enthusiastic, but not very effective.
Yeah. And also, for some reason, they thought that they would be able to, with their sword, get a flying greed. Although, maybe a ninja should have been able to do that. The ninja should have been able to run the treetops. Okay, now I'm disappointed in myself.
Let's have a look.
But yeah, so here's the video. So this is showing how the ninjas are behaving now. So, and then they're chasing after and got that one. And now they're coming in and saving the ruler and running away.
Not one losing their
saved
weapon.
You, samurai. You owe us.
Wow. That's and it's looping now, so you can see it again if you missed it. So this is what's coming in the upcoming update as well.
Yeah, so they wait for the greed to pass, and if there's a small gap, they wait again, so they don't jump into the middle of a greed attack. And yeah, they chase after them and they fix them. There's gonna be a lot of cool tweaks to the game that's gonna go on. Another big thing is we've adjusted the levels. So the levels are going to have more forest. They're a little bit wider, so maybe that might some people might find it a little bit more challenging, but I think that that's okay because there's a super long thread about that 2 crowns isn't tough enough. I don't think it'll still quench the thirst of those who want more difficulty to the game.
I mean, that's for what challenge islands are for.
It's supposed to try and push that. And that's why we added the cursed crown later. Which was intentional. So sometimes we have to do things in pieces. So, to get things out, because it's a lot of testing, a lot of time, and a lot of effort goes into this. So I know it seems like a simple game and it should be easy to do stuff, but it's hard. And we're not a huge team still.
Yeah.
We're about like 5 people working on it full time. 6 people working on it full time.
Yeah.
And then there we have part-time people, mostly artists, and then music and sound effects. They're all part-time, but it's like the core team working on it 100%. There's 6 of us.
Yeah. And it's like a really nice team of people. Like, they're awesome. They want to do what's best for the game. Always.
Domino, stop trolling.
Yeah, so I can see that you guys want to know what's coming in the update, and I mean, we'll have more info as soon as possible. Follow us on social media, both on Raw Fury channels and the Kingdom channel on Twitter and on Steam. We will post updates when we have them for you. We will post, about the dates, and when the update is coming, you'll have a change log and everything.
The problem is we're in certification. If you fail, if you have one wrong thing in your game, you have to resubmit, and you're back into a 2-week cycle. So, sorry, it's like we're fingers crossed, everybody. Yeah, that we make it through all of our certifications.
So we're gonna do like a classic dev saying soon.
Soon, TM.
Soon, TM.
Yeah. But that's why. I mean, it's like we want to tell you, but we don't want to say, oh, it's me this. And if one fails, we have to push all of them because now that we have PlayFab in there and we have cross saves, then all the versions have to be released around the same time because then you could get old saves that are from a newer version, and then that could just unleash Kingdom's Pandora box.
Yeah. We want you players to have the best possible experience and not have things breaking on launch. So we want to make sure everything is working as intended.
Again, please
stay tuned. Please, and pray for us.
Please, that we didn't make a mistake. I mean, it's like we have a lot of platforms.
Yeah.
We have Xbox, we have PlayStation, we
Switch,
have PC, and on PC
Mac.
we have Mac, Windows, Linux,
Android,
and then we have mobile. So we have Android and
iOS.
And
they all have
and
to.
Switch.
Yeah, I said Switch. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but all of those have to be like launched at the same time and working as intended.
And we have to work with all those different platforms and consoles. They have stricter rules because, it's a reflection on their hardware, so that can freak people out. So the PC players, we're a little bit more lenient with.
They can get whatever.
Yeah, but it's super easy on Steam, for example, to roll back. So we can roll back to a previous build to kind of like cover a mistake.
Yeah, but you can't do that on the consoles.
No. So there's a lot of moving parts, and it's kind of. Yeah, it's really it's a huge effort for a small team. On the publishing side, it's a small team, and they have other titles that they support as well. So it's like there's a lot of effort going into it.
Kingdom has a special place in our hearts as well.
Yeah, but there's a lot of effort. Everyone who's working on this is putting in a huge amount of effort, and I hope that the players benefit from that, and I hope that it's felt.
Yeah. Definitely. So shortly a recap of what's happened today. No, Joe, no.
That already released. Did you miss it?
So today we went over a little bit about the parallax layers and the blenders that you've been working with.
Yeah.
So if you're
Ninja.
Yeah, and the Ninja. So if you just tune into the stream, check out the VOD and you can see all of that happen again. We also did a little special thing. We dropped a special merch, which will only be available for the next 23 hours.
Oh, yeah. 23 hours.
Yeah. So I'm going to put a link in the chat right now, and that will be available
22
today.
and 56 or 54 minutes.
Yeah.
22 hours.
This is your only chance to get this t-shirt, and what's on it might also hint a little bit about what's coming for Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Dark
things coming. Is there anything else you want to say, Gordon?
I just appreciate everyone, and I appreciate people coming out and watching our stream.
Yeah, definitely.
And looking at and just being curious and going on this little short journey with us. Everyone's given up some of their time, and I just appreciate that, because I know how busy life can be, and it just means a lot to me that people take a time out of their day and listening to us talk, especially a rambling goofball like myself. So I really appreciate it.
But you say relevant things, so it's all good.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But just thank you all, guys, for tuning in and asking us lots of good questions. And if you didn't
thanks for the purple hearts.
Yeah, for the purple hearts too.
Color.
Yeah, and if you didn't get your question answered, we are back next month again, and you're available on Twitter if they have some questions.
Gordon at Gordon Van Dyke.
I'm
super boring. I don't have some clever, cool handle.
No jokes.
I'm just Gordon Van Dyke. It used to be Lex Luthor when I was into the.
Is it like that?
Yeah. When I was into the esports a long time ago in Battlefield 1942 in Desert Combat, I went by Lex Luthor.
Is that a role model for you?
Not anymore.
Well, we all grow up, don't we?
Exactly. That's why I'm glad. I was like, I'm just going with Gordon Van Dyke.
Yeah, and like Domino says, there's also the Discord, the Raw Fury Discord, so you can find us on there.
Discord is so crazy. I go in there.
Yeah, it's so fast.
There's 1,000 questions, and then they've all been answered by the awesome veterans of the Kingdom community. And yes, there is a change for the Knight statue.
It is coming.
I'll squeak that in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, check out the t-shirt. Check us out on social media, and we'll see you again in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
I'm sad. I don't want to go.
No, but we're having so much fun. But your kids are downstairs, and they are waiting for you.
Work downstairs, waiting for me, suffering. We had them in the basement, in the little dungeon.
I should end this for their sake.
They're alive. They're safe. They got water. Don't worry.
Have a good time, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.